feelings and stop the killing and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults and sit back and hash it out. Hash it out, 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 and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Men lie, you women lie, but numbers don't. We can debate if you want, but I know you really won't. I'ma reach and guess my percentage on the desk. I'm sure like Holmes, detective skills, it be at the max. S Rider, his topics, he bringing be the best. ZiggyTheBeast, he be streaming, that man is built for next. TikTok, she wear the dress, but don't try to press. I'm S dotted, them campus smacking, we at your neck. Hash it out, 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 and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Get out your feelings and stop the killing and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults.
Yo. Welcome everybody to an episode of Let's Hash It Out podcast. I am S Rider and I'm alongside my brother ZiggyTheBeast.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. I know this is like a what the hell? Like where y'all been at? Where y'all been hiding and stuff like that? Man, look, when life be lifing, it be life. And Ziggy been doing things, Tay been doing things, Ghost been doing, I've been doing things. So everybody been handling business, and it looks like everybody is heading into the right direction.
And I'm glad you said that. And that's what I was about to say. It's like it wasn't a bad thing.
No,
it wasn't like no one had issues that I'm aware of. It was just
right?
Got different things going on in terms of life. We got a lot of moving pieces, as I like to say. I can speak for myself in this case. As y'all know, I finished school. I graduated with the bachelor's degree. Yada yada yada. Next step, start the master's program. So that started 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, and been kind of going through that process. It's definitely a different ball game with a master's degree, and I already have a different level of respect for people that not only finish school or did school, but just like this. I never wrote so many papers in my life, bro. Already, but definitely shout out. And Tay, she started her business and everything like that. Ghost doing her thing with her new job and everything, new certification. My dog. S Rider, Shawn right here. So let's talk about like us two right here. I don't know if y'all are aware, but on Tuesdays we do kind of like a little bit of moonlighting, as they say in the olden times, with another podcast called the John O'Barnes Show. It is a Saints and sports entertainment show, for lack of a better terms. And look. My partner right here, my brother to the left, be in rare form. So if y'all want to see us outside of the show, we might not have been on this platform, but trust me, we have been active every week over there on the John O'Barnes Show, and definitely appreciate everybody. But yeah, so like we've been doing different things, networking with other communities and different things like that. So, long story short, what Shawn has been trying to say is. Moving pieces. A lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. It's just something. It's been crazy though. Like, I know like we're in the last month of 2024, and normally people will be like, man, I can't wait. I'm just waiting for this year to be over with. I can't wait to just go into the new year. I can't. But you know what's so crazy?
We're on the same page, bro. We're on the same page.
But you know what's so crazy? And I've been observing this, and I just don't know what it is, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's something that I'm not gonna say you rarely see, but it's just something different that I notice, me personally, amongst my family and friends. It just seems like everybody is like they ending the year off like just happy and just like with nothing but joy, peace, and happiness, and they're excited to go into the new year whether that's a new relationship, me,
Okay. Okay.
and it's like, it's just like, okay, damn, like
What's
this
to
is
come?
what's to
Mhm.
come, like what's next, and it's kind of like exciting, you know what I'm saying? But this is not just me. It's just like all of my family and friends, they succeeding, they knocking down their goals, they they achieving their dreams, they whatever the thing that they thought they wouldn't have at the end of the year is happening,
Be
and now they're
surprised.
right, and then now they're
Mhm.
ready to even exceed and take it a step further going into the new year, which is only a couple of weeks away.
Yep.
I'm very, very happy. First and foremost, I am happy. Like, you just don't know. Like, I really support everybody as much as I can.
He does. He
We
really
got,
does.
I'm saying, like, you got Ziggy doing it. Like he said, he got his master's degree. He working on. You got Tay. She got like two to three different new businesses that she's doing her thing with. Then you got Ghost achieving her certifications in the tech world. Of course, me trying to reestablish a couple of things with the Let's Hash It Out podcast so we can make it better and be more consistent for y'all who've been riding with us from day one. So trying to just move a couple of pieces around to be a little bit more consistent for y'all, because we definitely want to drop more content for y'all. Definitely want to give y'all more exciting episodes. Definitely want the whole crew to be here every Wednesday, just hashing out different topics as far as like the outside world or whatever the hottest topic could be and all that. So
Right. Right.
everybody's been shining, but
Crazy.
but we ain't just come on here to talk about catching up and all this yada yada stuff, okay? Because we all know, all of us have been in predicaments where we all had to face hardships. We had to face failures. We had to face heartbreaks. We had to face a lot of just hurdles to achieve what we wanted and to get where we at right now, right? So I posed this question and want to start a conversation with my brother and for the viewing audience as well. You know, is it something? Because nothing is perfect. Because if everything was perfect, none of us will be complaining. Everybody will have what they want.
It'll be nothing to hash out.
Right. And will be nothing to hash out. But the conversation we must have that I feel
Okay.
like we can have a nice little conversation with is, do we have to go through hard times in order to be happy in the end? And this question can go multiple ways. It can go from relationships, goals, just in life in general, whatever you may be going through. Does it make it worth it at the end with that person? Like, do you really have to go through all of these hurdles or whatever those hurdles might be in order to find happiness in the end of the tunnel? Zig, I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? And Zig, peep me out with this one. I think I said it a couple of episodes ago, right? I always said that in order to obtain greatness, you need the signature of failure. You need you A lot of people be like, well, why do you want to fail? Why do you want to not make it? It's not that. Let's open up this conversation in this topic, bro. In order for you to get to greatness, you have to sign the signature of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Did Jordan become who he is just by just being great? No. Right? Did
Mm-hmm.
LeBron become great just being great? No. Take it out the spectrum of sports, rappers, entertainers, um, business owners. No one. And I'm saying, if you know somebody, please point me in that direction or that multiverse that y'all might be living, because I don't know not one person. Me personally, I do not know
Mm-hmm.
not one person, not a family member, not a friend, that actually achieved their greatness in whatever they tried to accomplish without failure. those hard times, those hardships, you have to go through them. You have to fail. Number one, because it makes you, number one, it'll make you appreciate it that much more. It'll make you work 10 times harder to not only gain it, but to keep it. Because once you make it, you be like, all right, I got it. I got my business. It's getting that attention. It's finally making headway. You know, it's the headline. It's the hottest thing now. The real work, believe it or not, starts when you actually reach that actual top. Because nobody is kind of, you know, yeah, you got a couple of people that supporting you. Come on, you got it. You got to do this. You got to do that. And you put the long hours in. You sacrifice having fun with your family and friends. You sacrifice parties. You sacrifice, it might be even graduations, family functions.
A lot of stuff.
Right. And Zig, you working on your masters. I'm pretty sure that the time that you're working on your masters, you would love to have a movie night with your daughter or have date nights with your wife. But they know the goal. They know the ultimate goal for not just you. Yeah, it's a personal of achievement that you're trying to gain. But in the long run, it's actually for you and your family, because it's going to propel y'all to a different type of level. But you have to go through these. And I think now in this newer generation, they're not willing to work hard. You know, this is not a knock on the new generation whatsoever, but from what we see from the 80s babies, like myself and Ziggy and everybody else, the newer generation, to me, they should be excelling at a faster rate, Zig. Think about it. You got all the information right there. It's on a plate. It's right here.
Got AI now.
AI. You have all the resources that you need in order to be great. But you can't be afraid to fail. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people want to do the same thing. You know, that's that old saying, Zay. Man, I want to, you know, people might say, man, I'm going to do something simple like cookies. I want to have a cookie business. Well, people are already doing all that. Cakes, you know, but a lot of people may do cakes, but that still shouldn't make you afraid to do. Because
I had this conversation yesterday.
I'm just saying, like,
it's crazy.
Once again, you go down the cookie aisle. When you go to the grocery store, the same stuff, whether it's tomato sauce, I don't give a damn if it's a pack of noodles, cereal. You got Kellogg's, General Mills. They all cereals. But each one of them might have something different that the other company don't have. Don't be afraid to take that step, that leap of faith, and say, man, I want to make cakes, you know, or I want to start my food business. Your food business or your little fast food joint, you might sell stuff that the other people sell, but you might sell it at a more reasonable and cheaper price. And you might give your community a way better deal than spending top dollar for something that's like, yeah, it looks good, but it don't taste good. That's a big difference. Something can look good, but don't taste good. You might want to do shirts. Man, you know how many different shirts, Polo and Nike.
Look at Tay doing it right now.
You know.
They ain't stop her.
When it comes to being like, do you have to go through hard times? Yes. You're going to have to face the bad weather. You're going to have to face the storms. You're going to have to face the hate, the criticism. That's a big part of the failure part, is being criticized. You have to have thick skin. You can't be offended by what somebody tells you. You have to go with that criticism with an open mind. You have to, I'm serious, like, you have to be willing to take criticism. Take me, for example, with the podcast. Have I been consistent? No, I have not. And I hold myself to a higher standard. Yes, Ziggy, Tay, and Ghost that just joined the podcast with us. Well, shouldn't they be held accountable too? You can say that, but me personally, I feel like me and Zig started this podcast together, but it's kind of like Zig gave me the keys to run this podcast. And I feel
Mhm.
like, hey, okay, let me be the leader of the show. I need
Mhm.
to start taking more steps and being consistent, not only for myself, but for my team,
There you
because
go.
they're the ones that help me out. And y'all, the community, help us out by viewing, sharing, supporting, liking, repost, telling other people, hey, man, Shawn, Tay, Zig, Ghost, they got this fire podcast that's very dope. But if we're not being consistent, or if I'm not being consistent for my team, then what's the point? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, you have to take the criticism. You
Facts,
know,
Grant.
Shawn, man, yeah, you got to show up for yourself too, for
Mhm.
facts, and you have to be willing to take criticism, Zig. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people
They
don't
get
know.
defensive.
They get defense. Oh, you hating? What you mean by that? It's not. You can't look at it like that.
Mhm.
Somebody might tell you something. You got to take the hard truth or the uncomfortable conversation somebody might
Mhm.
tell you. Man, look, Shawn,
That's true.
your quality is not good. Maybe you need a new camera, or maybe you need a new laptop or software, microphone. You might need something to broaden up your podcast.
Mhm.
You might need to know how to speak a little bit more. I don't care. I accept all criticism, because you know what? That tells me you're in tune. You
They want
actually
to see you improve.
right. And you want to see me succeed. Now take it how you want. Some people look at it, well, I ain't nothing wrong. I don't need to improve. I know what I'm doing. You go into any business with that type of mindset, you're not going to succeed.
Mhm.
You're not going to go as far as you want. Because
Mhm.
if you're going to get offensive at every little criticism, trust me, I don't care what you do. I, you're not going to last long,
Nothing.
because you're going to
Yeah.
always have people that's going to come at you, whether it's positive criticism, negative criticism. You got
Mhm.
to take all that information and ask yourself, do I really need to go to the drawing board and fix a couple of things, or do I take this information and continuously work on my craft? When I get off of my 9 to 5 job, or when I get off from my entrepreneur
Mhm.
type job, I need to sit down and craft and take this information that I'm getting and be like, hey, all right, bam, let me work on this. Let me practice this. And every episode or every type of live type of
Mhm.
incident you might have on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Even if you get invited onto somebody else's platform for an interview, it's
Mhm.
all going to you're sharpening your sword.
Exactly. That's a very good way to put it. Mhm.
That's it. As far as relationships,
Yeah, because I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that because this topic you can put into what you was about to say, relationships,
mm-hmm,
work, business life, like what Grant is kind of getting what Grant is alluding to, your self improvement.
right?
um you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't get to where they get at without going through hard times. And that's not saying you manufacture hard times, like
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship scenario. People picking fights to create hard times, to create arguments, to look for something to be mad at. That's not hard times, that's being toxic. What we're talking about is wife lose her job, we only got one income now. Does your bond become stronger, or do y'all grow apart because now you got a lot of stress on one person? And how does that work?
I
Same thing
mean,
for a friendship. You know, friends, hey, we all hey, y'all know every single, this is kind of a little trivial, but hey, look, for the past 10 years, we've always did this friends Thanksgiving trip to Tennessee. In the All of a sudden, one year, one friend can't do it, or one friend had a fallout with another one. What happens now? Do y'all still go on y'all's trip, or do y'all let one little incident, a disagreement, derail y'all's? So it's one of those things. It's like, how do you handle adversity? Everything could seem sunshines and rainbows until let me sprinkle in a little bit of tribulation right here. Let's see what happens.
I mean, so I think
Yeah, what
everybody
you think?
has their breaking points.
That
Uh,
is true too. Everybody does have a breaking
every-
point. That's
yeah,
also true.
I think everybody has their breaking points when it comes to either friendships, relationships, or even just whatever you're
Even
trying.
at work, like
Yeah,
people
at
try
work,
you at work. You like, I'm done. I'm quitting.
right?
You know.
As far as like what you touched upon, like with the relationship, like so of course, as all of us do from time to time, we may be on Instagram, social media
Okay.
platforms, and we look at these reels, and some of them be funny,
Oh,
some
like the skits.
yeah, like the little skits,
Okay.
and then you got your motivational quotes, and then you have other
Like those.
platforms like podcasts, right?
Hmm.
And you might see a clip from somebody's podcast where a man or a woman may say something that may catch the attention of the audience. And what
Right.
I've been seeing lately, just scrolling through social media, is
Okay.
like it just seems like from man and woman perspectives, any little just any little disagreement or any
Hmm.
little like I guess red flags of toxic drama, or just in case like everything been going smooth,
Okay.
one little incident where they feel like they might fall back on hard times is
Mhm.
instantly, oh, I got to get rid of that person, or
Oh, so they're
that
just
type of
in
person.
the oh, interesting.
Right. So
Okay.
that's what I'm saying about the newer generation, though, Zig. Like,
So what? Wait, if you don't mind, what's an example of that? Like, what do you mean? Just
okay,
to make sure
so
I'm understanding.
all right, so they had one that I seen
Hmm.
where a man was the provider
Okay.
for his wife, strictly just them two.
All right.
And supposedly he lost his job and he needed his wife to kind of like hold it down. So that's the shift of okay,
Okay.
the man probably was the 100% provider. The woman was his wife was probably like, okay, I get the money, yada yada yada.
Saving it, utilities, small.
Whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
So once again, you never know what can happen in somebody's life. You can lose a
True.
job,
Get hurt.
especially working for somebody else. You can lose your job today or tomorrow.
Hmm.
Now, depending on your financial situations, you may never know, your savings, whatever the
Hey,
case
true.
may be. It can run
Hmm.
dry. The man needed his wife to step up and just say, look, for right now, until I get a new job, I might need you to hold it down for a little minute. Like you might have to take the 80, maybe I can contribute 20%.
Hmm.
The woman came back and was like, his wife was like, okay, I'll do that, but I'm gonna need my money in return. And if you're not able to get a job in 2 weeks span, then I'm out. I want a divorce. Now,
Wow,
Zig,
that's crazy.
once again, Tay would always say it's all about who you choose. And
Hmm.
that's very important. It's all about who you choose to be with. It's all about who you decide to live that life with and what you're willing to accept as
Correct.
well. Because at some point you probably, I think that complacent, like being comfortable,
Yeah, being
uh,
complacent. Hmm.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Nothing is gonna ever happen. And I think that's people mindset. I don't really I don't know why people mindsets are like that, because I guess they feel like, man, hey, I ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Hmm.
They gon' that's the pressure's all on them. My point is though, Zig, I feel like number one, people do not like to have those uncomfortable conversations. They
Communication.
don't
They keep
right.
coming up.
They don't like to sit down. And even when if you do sit down with a person, all right, let's just say you do have that open line of communication where
Hmm.
it's uncomfortable. The second part is, are you being understanding and are you really having an open mind and not just seeing it from not feeling like you're being attacked, but
Correct.
you listening to your partner talk about something
Hear
that's
about their
bothering them, but it's not only bothering them, it's affecting the two of y'all.
the connection.
Right. And if you can't put aside your ego and just literally have an adult, grown up type of conversation and listen to the person and then understand where they're coming from, and then you can talk and you give them the reasons why such and such and actually come to an agreement, then like, is this person really worth going through hard times with?
And that's
Like,
what, and I think part of it too is we
right.
don't have empathy for each other as we should.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, before someone gets defensive, you don't know how long that thought probably been on that person's mind for them to gain the courage to even verbally come to you about it. They might have said, "All right, today's the day I'm gonna talk to my wife about I don't like how she's spending our money,"
Mm-hmm.
and then he go to say it. "Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. She having a bad day. And then he goes it how many times? And then it's like hopscotch. You kind of waiting. Then he finally, all right, we need to talk. So like, because they also don't want to offend you either to make, because they still care, but they still want to bring something to your attention. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen this before, and I've been in the situation before on both sides actually, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I don't wanna like what they say, I don't want to rock the boat. Happy wife, happy, all that stuff. And I think that's a lot of once again, social media, pop culture, however you want to call it, that has put those kind of messages out that I think kind of make a lot of men maybe a little hesitant. I'm speaking from a men perspective because I'm a man, but
Right. I mean,
I
bro,
think I think that's just one of the things where when is it a good time to have the tough
you have
conversation?
to, you can't
You
prolong
know,
it though. You can't be
you can't
like,
prolong it.
no, you can't prolong it. Like, all right, yeah, you,
You got to nip that in the
all of
bud.
us, right. I think all of us been in that predicament where we
Of
was like,
course.
oh man, look, yeah, right now might not be the right move because
I
you
ain't
could
gonna
probably
say
just
nothing.
set off, you could
Yeah.
set that person off. I get that. But at some point, you gotta sit down and find that time and opportunity just to
That
talk it out.
grant, do it ASAP.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you gotta do it as soon as you can, and you gotta do it
That's
without
true.
being afraid. Right. You gotta do it without being afraid of what the person may or may say. And you gotta be level-headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just jump the gun. Oh man, what you talking about? See, that's what I'm talking. No, calm
And
down.
that's true too. The person delivering the
Right.
complaint or message, you still have to be empathetic to the person. You can't just be like, see, this is why I don't like when I come on. Like, hold on, you still gotta be mindful of the person as well. So
You
that's true too.
you have to,
That's a
like
good
I
point, bro.
said, everybody, you really find out what type of person you have in your life,
Mm-hmm.
friends, all of that, etc. When you go through hard times. There ain't no sugarcoating that. I think everybody, at least 95% of human beings,
That's just true.
can agree. Like, you're not going to find out whether or not somebody is a real friend without hardships
Oh
or
yeah.
just going through some
Or
stuff.
that.
Like, once again, you're going to
Mhm.
go through stuff through life. There is no way to escape it. You're going to be stressed. You're going to deal with depression from time to time. You're going to deal with anxiety. You're going to deal with fearfulness, and you're going to be worried about a lot of things.
Mhm.
You're going to deal with death within the family or friends, because all of us are not going to live. All of
Mhm.
us have an expiration date. There is no way to escape hardships within life. Let's just get that out the way. You're going to, like, you're going
Mhm.
to deal with bullshit. Like, I don't care. Like,
Better way to put it.
the main purpose is to wake up every day. When God wakes you up and bless you and open your eyes, for you to plant your feet on solid ground and to start your day. Yes,
Mhm.
you wake up with that positive mindset of, I'm gonna have a good day.
I'm
I
gonna,
know what type of
I'm gonna
person I
make use of
am.
this.
Right. I'm gonna be kind to other people. But then you have days where, even when you wake up with that positive mindset, you gotta run into bullshit people. You gotta deal with bullshit within life. And
Mhm.
somebody trying to, it's just a lot of things that ties into it. you're going to deal with it. Having somebody like a good friend or your girlfriend, your wife, for the ladies, your boyfriend, your husband. Those are the times when shit hits the fan. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, squabble up. You right.
Squabble up, yeah. Squabble up. Yo, what's good, Ghost? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? What's good? I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm turning a new leaf. But
not the do right.
Oh yeah. I'm just, man. Look,
man, we Shawn in the building.
We thugging it. You know what I'm saying? We thugging it. But at the end of the day, though, you find out what type of person you have or that you may want to have in your life future. You know, when somebody, a good friend. What's a good friend? Somebody say, what's a good friend? A good friend is somebody that's going, they're not just gonna check on you when they feel convenient to,
or they need something.
They need something. Right. That's the main thing. A good friend is somebody that's not going to take advantage of you. They're going to make sure that you support them. They're going to support
it's reciprocated.
You. Right. You check up on them, they check up on you. Now, does that necessarily mean, hey, I got to check up on you every single day? Does that mean that we're going to talk every day? No, it does not. And I think we have to understand, when you got a solid friend and you got a great friend, or if you got a good woman, or for the ladies out there, all the women out there that got a good man, maybe that's different. But as far as the friendship part, I'm seeing people get mad, man, you ain't check up on me and all that. Bruh, all of us got families. All of us have real responsibilities. And I guarantee you, bruh, I'm cool with a lot of people. And if anything can tell you something about Shawn, I'm going to make sure I do my best to check up on him. Everybody that I
call something.
Right. I'm going to make sure I check up on. I don't care if it's a phone call or a text. I try my best to do that as much as possible, because you just want to make sure that somebody's just doing all right. You never know. You never know what somebody's going through. I don't talk to all of my friends every day. It's just impossible. I know everybody has group chats and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, like, do you actually take the time out to say, hey, friend, what's up? I don't want nothing. I'm just making sure you and the fam good. Y'all straight? What's been good? Okay. I'm glad y'all doing good. I'll check up on you later. Simple as that. Ain't got to be no hour talk, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Having a good woman in your side, for the ladies out there, having a good man, you're going to find out whether or not you're going to either accept, you're going to deal with the shit that they come with, the baggage and flaws, because everybody comes with flaws and baggages. I don't care if you're a hill person or not. Somebody still deal with shit. Ghost says, but I mean, aren't hard times a given in any relationship, friendship? Life isn't easy. There will always be trials. So if you can't go through bad, you're not ready for any relationship. And that's before you came on, Ghost. Me and Zig literally said that there's no way to escape. I don't care whether you're in a relationship, at work, life, and even individually. You're not going to escape what life's going to bring to you. Hardships. You're going to deal with thunderstorms and cloudy skies. It ain't going to be sunshines all day, every day. I wish it was like that. I wish everybody can wake up every day and not deal with what life brings to all of us on a daily basis. One day, you might be the most happiest person in the world, everything going smooth. You might go 2-3 days where you just feel like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with anything and anyone, because your mind is just like, you through with shit, because it just seems like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. And some people feel like that sometimes. And you can only respect that, because some people really do have to shoulder the whole world on their shoulders, because a lot of people depend on them. And that be the ones, those be the people that's over. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Everybody's been in a predicament where, they don't blame nobody. They take on everybody's pain. They
Yep.
try to take away
Try to keep
everybody's
everybody happy.
problems. And they put that burden on their shoulders because they just want to see their family and friends strive. You know what I'm saying? Like all of us have done that for our friends. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to go through these rough times, because that go to show you, man, that person was there.
Your true friends are
right. Or that's the woman right there. Like I came from nothing and she leveled me up to be better, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they may have men that elevate some of these women up here, and these women appreciate them, and they actually don't just say, all right, I leveled up, or this man leveled that particular woman up, and they was like, all right, yeah, you did the thing, like I'm out. No, they actually stay with that man, and vice versa. That man may stay with that woman. But the $1 million question though, Zig, when you reach that plateau or you reach that point, can you maintain it?
Can you maintain it?
Can you, in other words, can you appreciate it even more?
Hey, moms.
Good evening. Good evening.
How you doing? Good evening.
Can you appreciate it every day? Not just appreciate it when you want to. Appreciate it.
That's a good point. I think Shawn mentioned that too, Ghost.
Ghost says because there will be a time, male or female, that you will have to be the driving factor in a relationship or have to pull your partner up. Friendships too. Family. Any type of connection. I couldn't agree with you more.
You just said that.
Your partner should elevate you even if you're elevated already.
Yeah.
A true connection will always better you if it's God given.
And that was a word from Ghost.
That was a word. We got any air horns for Ghost?
Oh, Ghost.
Oh, man.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook.
You got the wrong one. See, for Ghost, she want that Glorilla. Let her cook. I know she gonna feel she want that one. Let her cook. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just simple as that. It's no sugarcoating it. Ain't no complex to this topic. You're gonna deal with bullshit. It's all about how you're gonna handle it. Like, you're gonna let it defeat you, you're gonna let it knock you down. Once again, working towards it, to me, Zig, yeah, it's difficult and it's hard. It's gonna be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And once you make it, you're gonna be like, yeah, I made it. But that's just the start of greatness, though, because it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's easy to obtain certain things, but it's even more challenging and harder to like hold on to it, like to still have that same passion that you use to get to it in the first place. That goes the same thing for friendships and relationships. I think I said it a few seasons back, even before we even had Tay come on the podcast. Oh, Lord.
Yo, what's good, T Dunn? The master chef in
What's
the
up,
house.
T?
Shout out to T.
But, you know, everybody be like, oh, man, it's all, what we call it? The honeymoon phase, right? We call it the honeymoon phase. Everything is good. Everything is all peachy and creamy and all this stuff, Zach. It's very hard to maintain it, though, because then you start getting comfortable. You start taking people for granted. You start taking advantage of what they do for you, and it's not reciprocal. It's not how it was in the beginning.
Right.
And I think that's where things like both of y'all going up, but now it's kind of like, okay, I'm going, but it's kind of like, instead of you going this way, you slowly retracting. And like Ghost said, you should be able to elevate even when you're elevated. Y'all both should be, sometimes you might be here, but you also got to be able to be open to learning your partner and stuff like that. Pull some of these chats up, man, because Zig,
I got you, bro.
You laughing too much.
I'm laughing at she said, wait, Zig, you joined the middle. Hey, I've been there, done that, T.
Oh man, here we go.
Been there, done that. We getting comfortable. Yep, getting comfortable is when things get messed up. And Shawn mentioned that a little bit earlier in the episode. Where he says complacency is one of the main driving factors and killers of friendships, relationships, and different things like that. And
Nope.
even with a business example, Shawn,
Mm-hmm.
things are good when things are kind of routine. What happens when a big project gets dropped in? Hey, I need everybody to lock in, all hands on deck. This need to be done by the end of the week. You know, who gonna step up? Who gonna fold? Who gonna be complaining? Who gonna just roll their
Me.
sleeves up and be like, all right, let's go ahead and get this knocked out, boys. The quicker we get this knocked out, the quicker we can go back to our daily routine. Or
Right.
do we, man, why they always gotta do this? Why did
So I will
you
ask you
know?
this, though, Zig. And before I ask you that, I
I'm a
don't know
I
if
got you.
she's
Hold on.
available. Let me bring her on. I'm gonna
Wait,
bring her
hold
on.
on. I'm a let them post in the chat when they.
Oh, she said, "All
I was
right, we
about to
got
say,
you."
I ain't know if they was ready for me to pull them in yet.
Yeah, yeah. You know, she got to look all good, and
Yeah. That's why I was like, hold on about. That's why I put
yeah,
it in the
you
thing.
know, they would have been blasting us. I'm gonna pose a question, but you could bring in Ghost if she's ready. I'm gonna ask a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for her to reply.
So I will ask you this. Now we always say we gotta have conversations, right, Zig? She
Mm-hmm.
ready? We
All
gotta
right.
have conversations, right? When things are kind of like
All
not
right.
working right, or things are not as perfect, right? Do you think it's only right
And there we
to
go.
have conversations
Mm-hmm.
even when
I'm gonna let
things
you finish
are
your question, and I'm gonna bring Ghost in. I'm sorry, bro.
like, no, you good? Do you think it's
Mhm.
good like before it gets to that point, like when things are even like here, when everything is like, oh man, everything is perfect, well, as close to perfect as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's still good to have conversations even when things are even going good?
Oh yes, and that is a very good question. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, joining the show, Ghost. How you doing? Are we coming through clear?
I'm dead. Joining straight from the office. You know.
All right. Look now, the full disclosure, because I know what kind of office you work in.
Ah,
Uh, she voluntarily joined the show. We did not, force her not, to join the show against her will, anything like
is
that.
this somebody you
I'm
know?
just playing.
I'm trying to see who this is. Not her on the clock.
On
Nah,
it.
oh man, I shout out to my boy Grant over there on Twitch.
Oh, okay,
On
okay.
the clock.
What's up, Ghost? How was your
What's up, man?
I
Thanksgiving?
just
You
wanted
had
to
a
pop in. Just pop in and say what's up. I might have to pop out, but you know how they go.
Yeah, she's like, hold on,
Um,
now I'm just popping in
all
right
right.
quick.
I mean, she was
Thanksgiving was good. I worked for
look, Jay,
Thanksgiving,
she
so
was in
you
the
know.
city Saturday.
I
See,
was. I
I
was
wasn't going, I
outside.
wasn't gonna mention it.
I
I
was
was,
outside.
she was
Drinking Henny
outside.
in the club, drinking Hennessy straight out the bottle.
I was
That
about to
was
say
me.
out the bottle, of course,
I
of
was
course.
drinking what I was drinking.
And I had the Don Julio. The Don Julio bottle as well.
Yeah, I was
I
drinking
cut up.
Douce. I was drinking Douce Saturday.
They didn't have no Douce bottles in the club. Blew me.
Yeah.
They ran out.
Y'all better stop sleeping on Ghost, bro. She be cutting up, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, she was cutting up. She had my boy jagging on campus smack. You heard me? I just
Yeah.
ordered. Look, I
Wait,
had to
wait, she no
order me.
campus, she no John,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's family.
yeah.
bro.
I
You
had to,
don't know,
close. Look, I
bro.
seen
You
you
don't
with
know
the
who know
phone.
who, bro.
I had to order me that red one, so you know I'm about to, I'm gonna pop out with
Campus
that bitch.
smack.
I'm
You know, I'm,
ordering the black one for somebody as a gift this week. So
oh, so
yeah,
you the one that took the last black one?
it's a medium that was left.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't
too,
me.
man, that's
I
too
can't
small
fit
for
that.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't fit. It's not for me.
That's too small. That's good. That's good. But
That's what's up, man. Now, but to answer your question though, Sean, I think that's why as families I promote having monthly works for us, but monthly huddle ups with the family. All right, look, let's check spending, let's check the temperature, how y'all doing, how everybody feeling. We do it
mhm,
at work. I'm sure everyone's has had or supposed to have had one-on-ones with their management or like kind of just huddle up. Hey, everybody good? How we feeling? You
mhm,
don't meet. when things are hitting the fan. That's why you have your touch points. So
To space it
as
out.
the temperature is slowly rising, y'all are kind of already have a game plan. Or if things do get testy, we know what to do when those situations come. You want to be proactive, as they say, as T said with my me being in the military. You want to be proactive and not reactive. You want to be
I mean,
ahead of the curve.
the only reason why I kind of said what I said was because, like,
But yeah,
we always say that we should have these conversations when things are getting like when you're in the rough patch stages or when you kind of sense things are a little bit
yeah,
rocky. But we never really mention like when things are like smooth and when things are just clicking.
Still gotta have a conversation.
You still got to have a conversation. We
mhm,
don't really bring that up. I haven't seen any podcast. Well, I could be wrong because I watch a lot of them, but I haven't seen it, me personally, where we actually say, okay, it's not to avoid the rough patches, but I guess to be more consistent of communication, having that open line of communication where you can just say, like, okay, let's just talk, just see what
mhm.
somebody's mind's at. In the words of Zig, checking somebody's temperature. You know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
check your
It's
temperature
kind of like
too.
we always wait to have them conversations when things are kind of like, yeah, I've been noticing a lot of things
Facts,
and
Grant.
stuff
Hmm.
like that.
But that's part of it. Like you said, knowing we kind of bouncing from the setting of this kind of question, but for team members, knowing your team, for people in relationship, knowing your partner, so you should be able to feed off and read energy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
something ain't right. So that's where you pick up on and that is part of communication. Communication, not just verbal speaking, it's also nonverbal. Certain things like that. So just being able to pick up on things and paying attention,
Right.
definitely helps.
Oh yeah, most
What you
definitely.
think, Ghost?
All communication is good. You should communicate when it's good, when it's bad, when it's iffy. I think that people who avoid communication when it's good, that's why it goes downhill. But I mean, everybody has to be prepared for the good and the bad.
Hmm.
Communication is just, it has to be across the board. Because even when
Right.
things are good, you still have things to talk about, address.
Hmm.
It- Nothing is
Well,
ever 100% good or
no,
bad.
no, yeah.
Right.
So even when things are good, there's still little tidbits that you need to talk about. So I feel like communication should just be the standard for good, bad, and in between.
What about people that get a little defensive? Like if you do say like, "Hey, I mean, I feel like you need to step up," or um, "I feel like we are going through a rough patch. This is friends." How whatever setting you want to place this question in, how do you handle like if you're delivering the news to somebody and they're getting like defensive or offended? Because that's
I'm going to
another thing
deliver
of
it
it, like
regardless.
how people interpret. Sometimes I think that's part of it too. Is I can't I can't handle how you interpret my message.
You can't
Mm,
handle how they interpret it, but you can handle how you address it. But me, I'm a
mhm,
straightforward. I'm going to just give it to you even if you're offended.
mm,
You can either sit with it and come back, or you
okay.
can get gone. That's between you and the man above.
Mm.
But as long as I get it out, we
So you
good.
okay? So what if someone delivers a message and they want to? So how did you propose that question, Shawn? Earlier, you was like, not D or Ghost in this situation, but you said like sometimes people like at the moment of a red flag or something like that, people are like, nope, you're done.
I mean,
I wanted to hear Ghost thoughts on how you
I
worded
mean,
that question.
no, it was just like when you bring up something, somebody just automatically gets defensive instead of just listening
Okay.
to
Mm,
seeing how somebody comes at them. And like Ghost said, and that's what I just said about criticism. If you a true friend is gonna let you know you're
yeah,
wrong,
facts.
whether you want to hear it or not. Now you might not like
Correct.
it, and somebody might tell you, look, I don't like what you're doing. I feel like it's foul. You're in the wrong, and I'm telling you, I don't like it. You're still my friend. I'ma still rock with you to the very end. But I'm telling you from a friend who's concerned, I don't like whatever you're doing or whatever you're dealing with right now.
Hmm.
It's either you're going to be another true friend and accept what your friend is telling you. Now, does that mean do you change the next day? No. Does it
No.
mean does it get better the next day? No. But at least you can say when you do change or when you do get through whatever's making you upset or angry, you're going to look back and say, well, I had a real friend that actually said something that was real to me and they kept it real. I might have been upset with them at the time, but they still stuck with me, even though I didn't want to hear a goddamn thing they had to say to me.
Well,
You feel me? So you got to be a real friend and be willing to tell somebody, hey, you're wrong. Even if you feel like, man, I'm gonna be with my friend. I know you're wrong, and I'm gonna still rock with you. No, you're wrong, and you're gonna. That's how I feel.
Like, I'm gonna
And,
still rock with you, but I'm gonna let you know you're wrong.
right. But in the
That's
end,
true.
though, a real friend to another real friend gonna really understand where you was coming from, and they gonna come at you, and they gonna be like, "Thank you, I needed to hear that." That was the saving point, either in the friendship or they probably seen you doing something wrong that could have potentially like you jeopardize your relationship. Your friend telling you, look, nah, I don't rock with it. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm telling you my concerns.
Well, I want to get your thoughts on this though, Shawn. What about at work? Like, if things get hard at work, when do you kind of like dig your heels in the ground and kind of
So
stick through it, or when do you know like I need to find another place of employment? Like,
I mean, so my
because there's
job,
gonna be hard times at work. You know, you're dealing with people.
that's every day, bro.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
every
So
day.
how
trying
do
to
you
tell
know,
you.
like, okay, and I just need to just man up or toughen up, for
Well,
lack of a better
first of
phrase,
all,
or
it's
you know.
me personally, like I said, I'm in a position of leadership at my job. So the first thing I always try to do is I kind of lead by example. But I also, take a step back, observe my team, because I don't look at it as, yeah, in the hindsight, in the professional world, I'm here. They look at it as I'm here, you're here, right?
Right.
I don't look at it that way. I look at it as if I'm here, I need y'all and I want y'all to be right here with me. So I always take a step back and I try to look at my team and look at how we as a team, not just how my team can improve, how we as a team. Because at the end of the day, yeah, my title says I'm the leader and I got to tell y'all guys what to do and how to do it. But I'm going to teach y'all everything that I know that they're not going to tell you to propel yourselves. Yeah, you're going to have you're going to you're going to have days where you're going to be frustrated and stuff like that. I get it. But yeah, it's all about just learning your team's strengths and weaknesses and handle your business. Like, it's a job at the end of the day, Zig. Like, at the end of the day, when we punch the clock, we are there to provide for ourselves and family. And sometimes, yeah, I got to tell somebody within the team, look, yeah, I need you to go do that. Well, I just did this already, and I understand that, but right now I need you to go do that. I'm unable to. No, but I'm just saying, like,
That's a
there's
good point.
times
No, that's
where
just but
but at the end of the day, they respect it,
good
and I
point.
talk to them with respect. I don't say, yeah,
There you go. That was the key.
I don't get over that now and do that right now. I
You
said, do
you're asking them. You're not telling them.
I'm not. Yeah, I'd be like, nah. Is it something that they want to hear? No, but it's something that must be done. We all cool, but we also got to separate friendships and handling our business at work.
Yep.
Let's get the work done. Let's handle our business as a team. That way, when it's almost to the end of the day,
We can always,
you can you can handle your business. You can chill, whatever the tank or whatever you got to do until it's time for you to clock out. But it's constantly improving each and every day. How Kobe Bryant said, that's one quote that I like about Kobe Bryant that he always said when he was alive. May he rest in peace. At least 1% of every day that you're alive, every day you wake up, at least get 1% better. Strive to be a little bit better in whatever. Never just find a way to get better. If you go to bed and you say, I got better at this, that's that 1% that you got
1%.
better at. Take another percentage. You wake up again, you got another percent. So it's kind of like You're blessed to be alive. So each day, take an opportunity to get better, to be a better leader, be a better
Mm-hmm.
person, be a better human being, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, that's how I approach it, Zig. Like,
I like that.
I
Mm-hmm.
respect my team because at the end of the day, one thing that I seen even with my days at my last job and even at
Mm-hmm.
this job that I am right now, yes, as a leader, you take upon more responsibilities and more responsibilities are placed on your shoulders.
And they might not understand that, but
Right.
that's
But
mm-hmm.
don't forget where you came from
There you go.
and what them other, because you was in that same predicament before you got that position. That's what I always
Correct.
take. Like, all right, yeah, I can't go back to how I was because I'm in a whole different type of role at
A
work.
role. Mm-hmm.
But I understand where you guys coming from. So let me find a way to at least try to get the upper management to understand, or at least, that's
Mm-hmm.
all you can do. Because there's only so much that you can do to make the job as more efficient and more better for your team. And
Mm-hmm.
if your team see you out there doing things like getting in the trenches and handling your
Have
business,
respect for you.
they gonna do, now some
When you,
days I'm
yeah,
not able
that's
to,
true.
you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta take care of other things that needs my attention. Y'all just
But they
gotta
know
hold
that.
up. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm free and I see that my team, or if I
It's
see
all
that
engaged.
right, or if
Mm-hmm.
I see that the team needs help, and I feel like, well, I'm not doing nothing. I never was that type to see the team
Team
struggling.
working. You like, oh,
Right.
yeah.
Now I might not be able to do what I used to do, but I could be like, well, look, I'll go do this for you.
One
I'll
less thing
handle
to
this
worry about.
task. Right. I'll handle this task at work while you go handle something else that needs to be done. And once everything kind of simmer down and get back to kind of like where everybody can kind of get back to a normal routine, then I'll take a step back and be like, all right, everything is straight. Y'all good. Go handle y'all business. Y'all good now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cobalt.
that's what it
Long
is.
time no see, my friend.
You know. But yeah, man. Zig, I think that this was a great conversation.
It's a very good conversation.
It
I'm
was
I'm very excited to part two to this, so we can get a more in
most
depth
definitely.
of the ladies of the show
Mm,
perspective of this to see what Tay will have to say. We got a little bit of what Ghost thought, but we want her full analysis of this topic. Once again, for those that are just joining in, today's topic has been how do we I'm sorry, do we have to go through hard times to be truly happy in the end? And this is not just about relationships. This could be applicable to friendships, at work, self motivating, self improvement. This could be in many facets
mm,
in life. As a father, as a husband, as a brother, uh does hard times have to be had for you to be better in the end?
right.
So I think that today was a very good discussion. You know, I think and I think that's something that I think everyone can take from this is um trials and hard times are just inevitable in life. Everything is not going to be cookie cutter, everything is not going to be easy. People are different, everybody is not the same. That's why you have hard times. Mostly is because of a conflict, a different of opinion. Somebody says one thing, somebody interprets this another way, and then conflict.
Mm,
Like Shawn alluded to earlier, the economy is going crazy, people can lose their job. All right, so I might need my partner to step up and kind of hold things down as I'm getting on LinkedIn or getting on jobs to try to find another job. And that's why I think this goes back to previous conversations that we've had in previous seasons, where that's why we never really agreed on a 50-50 type thing, because
mhm,
it's never 50-50. It's going to always be 80-20, 70-30, 60-40. it's like a scale. It's like a balancing of the scale.
It's a
It's
seesaw.
never 50-50. So we're gonna see what kind of scale that your relationship is made of when things start tipping in one way versus the other. Is it gonna break or is it gonna rebalance?
Right.
So I think it's good, man. And just like you said, at work, um, you know, especially for those that are starting to, or wanting to get into managerial roles or leadership positions, when your team goes through a hard time, that lets you know what kind of team you have. You know,
Yeah.
when work starts coming down, you start seeing who steps up or who gonna allow their teammates to just take the brunt of the work while they kind of hang back, or so hard times show people's true colors.
Yeah. I mean,
Case in
like
point.
I said before we end the show
Yes,
or the
sir.
topic, like I said, I just me personally, like I said,
True Cobalt.
Coco say always good to offer help where you can. One day it might be you that needs the help.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. That's true.
And that's one
Never
thing.
know.
That's one thing I can say about my team. Well,
That's true.
I keep saying my team. One thing I can say about the team
It
that
is your team, but yeah, I got
it
you.
is, but the one thing
I
I
see
can
what you're
say about,
saying.
one
I
thing
know
I
what you
can
mean,
say
though.
about the team at my job is one thing about it is I always, if I do need them to do something, it's like, okay, I got you. I'm about to go handle that, whatever, vice versa. And like I said, sometimes whatever they lack, that's my job to make sure that, okay, they might have forgot to do this or they forgot how to do this. It's my job to continuously train them and counsel and just like teach them, like, look, okay, it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Being a
Handle,
leader.
but we need to kind of like get better here, because like I said, in my job, the small things can always turn into some bigger issues.
That's true.
So
That's true.
if you
That's your
stay
job.
if you stay consistent and take care of the small things and follow the procedures that needs to be followed, then you can always, like, things are gonna happen. You can't once again, you can't
How do you
avoid
handle it?
life, but it's all about you just being prepared.
That's a good
Like,
another keyword. Prepared.
yeah, just prepare
Preparation.
yourself. Like, look, there's gonna be days where you come to work, it's gonna be smooth sailing, and then there's gonna be days where you're gonna come to work and you'll be like, oh, here we go. It ain't gonna go as how you plan. So I mean, hey, but yeah, man, like I said, bro, you can't. The main goal is don't give up. Don't give up so easily. Don't you you can't avoid failure. You can't avoid being upset and angry. All of us been there. All of us deal with it. You know, even sitting up here, you might see, everybody might see me and Zig. We happy right now and Zig smiling. But when them cameras cut off, Zig might. I'm just saying.
No,
Any
that's
of
true. We've seen
any,
this. We've seen this all the time. Yeah.
any of us, you could be like, yeah, man, I'm living life, yeah. And then the
As soon as
cameras
the
go
camera
off,
off.
like, it really liked it. That's why me
That's
personally,
a very good point.
right?
Very good point.
Every day I wake up as best as I can. I am not perfect, but as best that I can, I always try to always keep in the back of my mind, like, I don't know what this person's going through. So let me be as understanding and be as kind as I can as a human being and still be polite and not trigger
You never
somebody.
know what people going through.
No, because that
might be that last straw. Is
right,
you
that might be that
disrespecting
last
somebody.
straw. That might be that last straw where either they lash out on you or
They
God
take that
forbid,
and just
they take that as the last straw to say, I'm done.
nobody cares. I'm done.
Nobody cares. So you know what? I'm out of here. Good riddance. Nice to know you.
Even Shawn turned against me. He don't. All right. Nah, that's a good point. Cause my first wake up call with something like this is one of my favorite bands growing up was Linkin Park, and the lead guy Chester Bennington. He was one of the main vocalists of the band. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he took his own life, because and people was like, man, we didn't even know these things was going on. It's like, that's kind of how it happens. And also, shout out to Jay-Z. He don't want to introduce me to Linkin Park with that what they call it, that
Collabo album.
collision course. Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, like Cobalt said, rest in peace to Chester. No one knew he was going through the level of things that he was going through, and then now by the time people were aware, it's too late. You never know what people go
But
through.
that
That's
go to
why
show
you
you,
try to
yeah.
treat everybody with respect.
But if you ever think about it, A lot of
Mhm.
people that's either barely making it or they living day by day, check by check. We always
Mm.
think about,
Check by check.
okay,
Crazy.
okay, all right, suicide. I'm depressed, and we feel like, oh, that's just from people being poor or people. But if you really think about it, the more rich, famous people that we know, you
Mm-hmm.
know, think about it. Everybody, you can have everything that you can possibly imagine in the palm of your hands.
True, it
And guess
was.
what? That still doesn't make you happy.
Yep.
And that still drives you because you know why? Everywhere you turn, you're not just a normal person anymore. You're
Mm-hmm.
a person, you're a figure to a lot of people where you don't know every day. Think about that, Zig.
Every
Every
day.
you have to ask yourself, is this person really genuine? And do they
Mm-hmm.
really do they really have concerns for me?
That's a good point.
They saying that
What
to
do you
get
want me for my money? Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that for another day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm gonna leave that for another topic.
Boy, that boy Shawn.
Leave that for
Hey.
another topic. But people, this was a great conversation. One thing we like to do at Let's Hash It Out podcast, we don't like to sugarcoat nothing. We like everybody to be as raw and authentic. Be yourselves, and just speak your mind. This is a safe place where you can be who you are, no judgment. You know what I'm saying? We just here to have a conversation amongst the community, amongst real people. This is probably one of the few podcasts that I know that is not scripted. We don't script
Mm-mm.
nothing. The only thing, if you want to say what we may talk about, that's about it. But how we're
Just
gonna
a few bullet points, but I don't know. I really never know what kind of angle Shawn's gonna take with a
right,
not a
every,
debate, but like a
right,
topic or Tay or anybody like that.
right. Nothing is
So
pre
everything's authentic.
right. Everything is authentic and everybody's like I said, and once again, going further in future, like in a podcast, you don't have to wait until after the show. You don't have to be in the comments. Even for people who don't comment and just watch the show, we appreciate all that.
There's a lot of people that do that. That just
Right.
watch,
But if you
which is
feel
fine.
like,
We appreciate that too.
man, I feel like this is the platform. Like we want our platform to be y'all platform where you can feel like, hey, these people here speaking some real shit, and I feel like I want my voice to be heard, and they not judging me or nothing.
Oh, we'll drop a link. Come on.
We'll
Yeah.
drop the link, and you can either speak behind the camera, or you could just speak when you ain't got to be shown.
Don't
That's
have to show your face.
don't have
Yeah.
to show your face or nothing. You can speak your mind. That's one thing we do take pride in. So our final takeaway,
Oops, sorry about that.
like me and Zig always said, you keep me on it, both of us on the screen, Zig. But our final takeaway is be who you are. Be great. Don't give up. And just understand you're gonna deal with hardships. But it's all about how you pick yourself up from them failures and propel yourself to a journey of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
So keep pushing forward, man, and keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Zig, you got anything for the people?
Yeah, the final takeaway that I have is, I mean, I feel like a broken record sometimes, but communication is always the centerpiece of a lot of these conversations. And communication is not always verbal, it's nonverbal, and it's up to you as a team member if we're talking in a work environment, or a friend if we're talking about in a friend space or in a relationship space, to be able to know your partner and pick up on those cues that are nonverbal. And if you see something, say something. If your partner's been giving you the silent treatment, don't let your ego bite you in the butt and like, oh, when they don't want to say nothing, I'm gonna do my thing. That's That's them red flags that Ghost be talking about to say something.
Right.
If you go to extend your arm out to hug your spouse or something, and they kind of push away, don't just step off and storm off like, hey, what you meant? Like, what's going on? We good? That's when you what Grant was mentioning earlier, nip things in the bud. We need to learn to start nipping things in the bud early when you see the red flags at the forefront. Don't let things simmer. Don't let things sit until now. Like Shawn said earlier, you have a big old issue now out of something that was real small that we could have hashed out way at the beginning. But once again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. The only question and only ask that I have for anybody that is watching us, no matter what platform, we have 17 people watching us across all platforms right now. That's over on Twitter, on X. We have 13 people watching right now. If y'all don't mind, please make sure you are following us over on YouTube. We have a few people over on Twitch right now as well. We appreciate every single person that's watching us, but please make sure you're watching us on YouTube. We're going to start putting more content that is not just the live content on this channel. We're going to be having other content, other reels, other or shorts that they have on YouTube. Some rapid fire topics just to kind of get some engagement and get your thoughts on a few things. Current topics, current events that you're seeing on maybe TikTok, Instagram, different things like that. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, and we just want to make sure that y'all are tapped in when those events and those projects are going live on the channel. So YouTube is the hub. We appreciate anybody that's watching us on whatever platform you're watching us on, but YouTube is the main show that we're the main platform we're trying to grow. And we definitely appreciate y'all, and it's gonna be a lot more things coming, and I'm
Sure.
appreciative of every one of y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have anything else? That's it for you?
Nah, man.
All right.
Nah.
With that being said, I'm Ziggy Lewis, Ziggy the Beast. I'm the moderator of hashtag I'm sorry, Let's Hash It Out podcast. This is S. Ryder Shawn. He's the host, the writer of the show. This is episode 15, season 4 of Let's Hash It Out. Still got a lot more to go. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll see y'all next week. Same podcast time, same podcast channel. We appreciate y'all and see y'all next week. 7 o'clock p.m. Wednesday.